Today we're talking about stances and movement. What I mean by stances? When I say stance, I simply mean fighting stance, neutral stance. There are a number of stances of how your body is positioned in Krav Maga. Today we're going to start with what's called a neutral stance. A neutral stance is just my feet are parallel, about shoulder width apart from one another. My arms are relaxed by my side. This is a neutral stance, okay? Some people call it a passive stance, but this is a neutral stance in Krav Maga. Now from this neutral stance, we're going to then go into our fighting stance. If you are right-handed, like a lot of us are, you're going to take a natural step forward with your left foot. If you are left-handed, then you're going to take a natural step forward with your right foot. And I'll explain the difference in just a second. So for those of you who are right-handed, take a natural step forward with your left foot. Left-handed people, right foot. Now, good. I don't want this to be a wide, a long step, or even a short one, but just think about your feet are still relatively shoulder width apart. You're just taking a step forward with one of your feet, left or right, depending if you're right-handed or left-handed. In this case, I'm right-handed, so I'm taking a step forward with my left foot. Good. From here, we're going to bend our knees slightly, okay? I want to be relaxed in this stance. I want to feel like I'm balanced in this stance. From there, we're going to bring our hands up, arms up. I want you to think about your hands being about 6 inches apart from each other, 6 inches from your face, 6 inches at the top of your head. Nice and relaxed, okay? Hands are open, not necessarily balled up in fists. You're not getting ready to fight right now. You're just getting your natural fighting stance here. Elbows always stay in, not out. We don't want our elbows to flare out. We want our elbows to stay nice and tight to our body, protecting our sides. So here, hands are out, elbows are in, knees are slightly bent, okay? My feet are somewhat staggered. So from the side view, you can see where my feet are staggered here, right? My lead foot, my rear foot back here. They're still about shoulder width apart, hands up, nice and relaxed. Back to front, here we go. This is our fighting stance. This is our fighting stance. Now notice something else as well. In my fighting stance, my rear foot, my heel is slightly up. The reason my heel is slightly up, not pronounced now, I don't want it up too high. I just want it slightly up because in Krav Maga, we are always advancing until we neutralize that threat that's in front of us. So I'm moving forward until that threat is no longer a threat. So from our fighting stance, we want to make sure our heel is slightly up, elbows in, and also we want to tuck our chin. I don't want to have my head up here and exposing my chin. I want my chin down, tucked. Tuck simply means down. Got my chin slightly down like this. Good. I'm relaxed in my shoulders. And you're going to hear me say this a lot throughout the course of your training. Tension is the enemy of speed. I don't want to get all tense, shoulders up like this, rigid. I don't want that. That restricts my movement and it compromises my speed. So I want to have my shoulders nice and relaxed. Here are my hands right here in this position here. Elbows are in, chin is slightly down, right? Nice and relaxed. This is what our fighting stance looks like in Krav Maga here, okay? From a side view, here's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like. Here we go, right here. This is nice and relaxed, okay? Shoulders relaxed, hands 6 inches apart, 6 inches from our face, 6 inches top of our head, right? Our feet are shoulder width apart, knees are slightly bent, back heel is up, slightly up in the back leg. Only the back foot has that heel slightly up. Only the back foot has that heel slightly up. Okay, I want to be able to move quickly. I want to be able to move from balance, be very balanced when I move. I want to make sure everything feels nice and relaxed. This is what our fighting stance looks like. All right, we go back to neutral or passive stance. Here's our neutral or passive stance right here. Fighting stance. Here we go, fighting stance. Neutral, fighting stance. Here's our fighting stance. From the side, here's our fighting stance. Here's our fighting stance. Nice and relaxed. Good. So once we've kind of played around with our fighting stance and our neutral stance, getting used to it, getting comfortable with it, then we want to incorporate movement. We want to start being able to move because no fight is static. You are going to be moving. The person in front of you or the person that you're defending against will be moving. So you want to learn how to move in your fighting stance, but do it in a way by which you don't compromise your balance, right? Your speed, your agility, all those things stay intact. So how are we going to do that? So let's start by getting back into our fighting stance, going from neutral to fighting stance. And we're going to move a little bit. This is the part where we incorporate some movement. All right, here's the thing that I want you to think about. When it comes to movement, whichever foot is closest in the direction that you want to move, that foot moves first. So, from my fighting stance, if I want to move forward, my front foot, my left foot, obviously is closest in that direction. It will go first, okay? 1, and then my back foot will follow 2. So again, if I want to move forward, the left foot is closest in that direction. It goes first. 1. The back foot follows 2. Okay? Let's do it again. Fighting stance. Here we go. I want to move forward. Front foot goes first. 1. Back foot follows 2. 1, 2. A little faster. 1, 2. That's what it looks like. Okay? So now, obviously, then it applies that if I want to move back, my back foot or rear foot is closest in that direction. It goes first. 1, my front foot follows 2. 1, 2. All right, so you see how that looks? So if I'm moving forward, front foot goes first. 1, back foot follows 2. If I want to move back, rear foot is closer in that direction. It goes first. 1, front foot follows 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Forward. 1, 2. Forward, 1, 2, forward, 1, 2. Good. Now, let's go sideways. If I want to move to my right foot is closest in that direction. It goes first. 1, my front foot follows 2. 1, 2. If I want to move to the left, my left foot is closest in that direction. It goes first. 1, my back foot follows 2. 1, 2. All right, so you see how this goes, right? Forward, foot closest is the left foot. 1, back foot, 2. Back, 1, 2. Right, 1, 2. Left, 1, 2. Freeze. I want you to just freeze where you are. Think about this now. Your stance should be the exact same way it was when you originally started. Meaning, your feet are still shoulder width apart, your knees are slightly bent, your back heel is slightly up, your elbows are in, arms and hands are up, chin is slightly down, right? This is how you originally started, and this is how you should continue even as you do these series of movements. Forward, 1, 2. Back, 1, 2. Left, 1, 2. Right, 1, 2. Forward, 1, 2. Back, 1, 2. Left, 1, 2, back, 1, 2, forward, 1, 2, right, 1, 2, forward, 1, 2, back, 1, 2. See what I'm doing? It becomes somewhat methodical, right? There's a certain cadence and rhythm to it, but that's what movement is. Fighting is a lot like dancing. There is a cadence. There is a rhythm to it. See the rhythm? Hear the beat? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be relaxed and play around with it, move in different positions, right, left, forward, back, but always doing that 1, 2. Getting your body used to 1, 2. But more importantly, getting your body used to being in a balanced, efficient position. Through the course of that fight, I don't want to have to think about where my feet are or what my feet are doing. In other words, by doing this drill, by practicing our self-defense fighting stance, what we're doing is we're getting muscle memory. We're building muscle memory into our body. I want my legs and my feet to automatically do this even though I'm not thinking about what my feet are doing. Now, I know that might sound a little weird now, but it will make more sense as you continue and learn more. Muscle memory is acquired over time. This is something I say a lot to my students and clients. Repetition is the key to mastery. The more you do something, the more efficient you become at what you're doing. At some point, even the finer points or the basic mechanics of that movement, you've long forgotten, but your body remembers. Your body remembers. That's what muscle memory is. I want to be able to train my feet to always be balanced, always be an efficient, effective fighting stance, no matter what's in front of me or what I'm doing. My feet can do this by themselves, almost independently of my brain. That's what we're trying to accomplish by doing this simple drill. First, starting off in a nice, correct fighting stance, and then incorporating the movement. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, over and over again until my feet remember how to do this without me having to think about how to do this. One other point I'm going to make about your fighting stance is, I spoke earlier about being left-handed or right-handed. If you're right-handed, meaning your strongest arm and leg is in the rear. Okay, so from your fighting stance, your left hand would be forward, your left foot would be forward, and your rear hand would be your right hand, your rear foot would be your right foot. That's how right-handers stand. If you're left-handed, you'll be the exact opposite. Your right foot is forward, your left foot is back. And the technical term for this is, from a right-handed standpoint, it's an orthodox stance. This is called an orthodox stance. When you are left-handed and you put your right foot forward, your left foot back, you are in what's called a southpaw stance. Okay? Southpaw. Orthodox means, most right-handed people, left foot is forward. Southpaw means left-handed people, right foot forward. So from here, southpaw, here, orthodox. So whether you're right-handed or left-handed, I want you to practice getting in your stance, start from neutral or passive, go into your fighting stance, and now incorporate the movement. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, until you've done it and done it and done it. And still do it even after that. I've been doing it for well over 30 years and continue to do it. It's continue to build that muscle memory in my legs and feet so my body knows what to do in the middle of that fight without me having to process that information. That is stances, neutral, fighting stance, and movement. You need to continue to practice this as much as possible. Again, repetition is the key to mastery. So the more you do it, the more efficient you will become at doing it. Thank you.